Alright, so hello and welcome to Tomato Industries Detailing. So I've got just a little bit of time off this afternoon and just thought I'd do a, I don't know, a bit of a recap over some of the things I discovered while I was using some new products that I hadn't used before, especially on the Audi RS4 and the VW GTI Wolfenberger. And also I've bought a few new products lately. I might just run through a few things with them, the pros and cons. What else have I got? And I also I've had this. I bought this polisher quite a while back. I haven't really had time to use it, and so I thought I'd get it out and give it a bit of a go on some B pillars and see how it went. So it's a cordless. It's very small. It's fairly, quite a small little cordless polisher. It's called a Newdec Pro. You get it from Newdec Paint Supplies. I think they're in Victoria. It's about $100. Initially I got it out, charged it up, put a pad on it, and I just tried it on some door sills. But I found that when, as soon as I put any pressure on, the thing would just slow right down and almost stop. So I wasn't that impressed. I was quite busy, just threw it in the back of the shelving, thought, oh well, that's the way those goes. Anyway, so I decided to give it another crack. I've got a few ideas I might try with it. So anyway, yeah, so let's get into it. I'll just turn this around and we'll have a look at some of these products. Alright, so here we are in the garage. Alright, so one of the things I just came yesterday actually from zas.com.au, auto detailing products, is a Sunmatch 2 rechargeable light. That's it there. I have given it a couple of little run-throughs just to see how it goes. I'm very impressed with it. It has a magnet at the bottom, and it also has, I'm being interrupted because the dog wants me to throw the ball, and when the dog wants me to throw the ball, of course, I'm going to throw the ball. Get the ball, Teddy. Look at him go. God bless him. Anyway, so yes, so it does have a movable section here with the magnet, so you can have it at all different angles, like so. Put it like that, so you've got a light going straight up underneath the rails or wherever you would like them. So I bought a few of these products. I've also got the Scan Grip head torch. So these things run at 65k in the cold light colour range, and 45k. So it's a fair bit. It's quite a powerful light. It's the same as this. So the pros with this is that they really do show some swirls. They show everything between the two lights. So if you've got the cold, you'll see all the swirls and all that. If you want holograms, you probably go down to the 45k here. Same as with the Scan Grip head torch. The con, things that don't so bad, is these, they both last around 4 hours. So if you're sort of wearing it and you forget to turn it off, and you got it on your head, and you got a long polishing job all day, all of a sudden it stops working, and you have to recharge it, and by the time you recharge it, you're almost done. One of the things, this Scan Grip head torch, it does work wirelessly. So there's a little wireless button then. So you got your on/off button here. You click once, you get the 4,500. You click twice, you get the 6,500. You click the third time and it goes off. Wireless. Once you click that, if you have the torch on and just wipe your hand in front of the torch, it turns on and off. It's a handy little thing. It can be a little bit annoying if you're sort of grabbing things in front of you. It tends to turn itself on and off. But other than that, it works well. This one doesn't have that feature, and I'm yet to actually try this on a car. I'll just use it on my car and inside the house just to see how it goes, and no problems at all. The other head torch I have is the Coast H7. These are good. I think they're 280 lumen or 285 lumen. Unfortunately, they run on a 3.8 AAA batteries. So, when you've got something running, these are one of the more brighter lights. So after about 2 hours, you start to see the lights start to dim, and then it just slowly dims more and more. I like these for interior detailing. The other two, I'm all about exterior work with them. The other thing was this bike light I bought probably about 3 years ago. It's a dual light. I actually think it works it's a 500 lumen. I think it's really similar to these scan grips where, so on the first, when you turn it on, you see, and then you hit again, it goes down. I actually think it works in that same sort of range of 6K and then, or 4,500 and then 5,000 or 6,500. So the only problem is this is a more directional light, so it's just straight onto one area and it tends to wash it out, whereas these lights spread the light out a bit. So although it's good, it's sort of too much at times, and I've got to, when I'm filming, I've got to actually hold this light way behind me and then the camera forward because it's washing the paint out so much. Alright, some other products. I use the fixer on the Audi RS4 and it worked very well. It's a one-step polish. I haven't done really a comparison where I've got a panel and used it against, just say, Scholes S2 and see which one came up best. There was a good gloss factor on this. One of the things it does say on the label, and when you buy it and you read the blurb on the Wax It website, I'll just see if it's got it here, and that is no dusting. Okay, so I use this thing on a 21mm polisher and on speed 4, and halfway through the second pass I could see dust and it just got worse. So, you know, the first time I did it, I used, it was on a Flex VRG, speed 4, it was a 5-inch pad, it was a blue cyan pad, so that's a serious pad, a cutting pad, and it dusted halfway through. So on that car I downgraded to a polishing pad. It was a 6-inch pad, and I used the fixer again, and once again there was dusting. So I'm not sure about this no dusting. I have never used this before, and I used it as per I would use any of my other polishes, my Scholes or my Mazernas, which are long lasting, long working polishes. Possibly this is a shorter working polish and I didn't understand that, and I need to do, you know, maybe 1.5 to 2 passes before wiping down and going again, but that's just my experience. After 1.5 passes, possibly 2, we had dust. So no dusting, there's dusting. And also this was the next one I tried, the Car Pro Essence Plus Hydrophobic Energy Top Coat Dueling Agent. So I use this not only as a dueling agent, so dueling, the polish you just essentially do with a rotary polisher on a very brand new clean pad. You run it at speed 1 very slowly, you have to be very patient. I didn't quite do it that way. What I did was I started off with a finishing pad, I used the rotary, I ran 2 passes at speed 2, and then I finished the last pass on speed 1. I personally think this worked very well. Now, it's not something that leaves, I feel, it says a high gloss. Yes, it did leave a good gloss. I don't know about high gloss, but it did leave a good gloss. Yeah, so the other thing is this, here's my Newdec polisher. Alright, so there it is. As a comparison, there's the fixer. So you can see the size. This is a litre bottle of fixer. And also here's my mini Zen tool. So if we look at the size there, it's half the size. Basically, it has a, I believe that's a 14 millimeter thread. I'm hoping so, because I want to put an extension bar on it, see, and try a few things. So it's got a little switch here, turn on and off. So it goes from 1 to 10. So 1 is, you know, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's not very noisy, but to be honest with you, it's not very fast either. So I think something like this would be good possibly on interior, you know, inlays, clear-coated inlays. Possibly if you can get an extension bar on this, you might be able to do underneath door handles. Today, I'm going to try and have a go on a B-pillar with it and see if we can just handle that. It is a rotary also. Alright, so, and you can see, I'll just go back to the case. This is the case it comes in. So this is the size of the battery. It's not exactly huge. I estimate you might get 15 minutes out of that. It comes with 2 batteries. It comes with this 3-inch pad and this microfiber, 3-inch backing plate and this microfiber pad, whose quality is questionable. It also comes with this 3-inch 120 grit sandpaper. I think that was all it had. So yeah, there's that. What I'd like to try today is to put an extension bar on it that I use with my Flex Rotary. But looking at that, I think that's a bit too small, so I might have to actually outsource something that will fit that and put a 1 or 2 inch pad, because the 3-inch pads and with a bit of pressure, I just think it's too much for this machine, no matter what they say. Like, as I said, doing interior inlays, nice and soft, you know. If you can polish softly, very softly, without too much pressure, this thing's alright. But once the pressure comes on, it just starts to slow right down. Anyway, we'll give it a go today and see how it goes on these B pillars. So that's sort of it at the moment. I have bought some other things, but that's what it was about. And, well, you know, with those coatings the other day, you know, that Audi A4 is a big car, and the thing with the coatings is, compared to putting a wax or a sealant, you know, especially a spray wax or a sealant on, it is 3 to 4 times as long, because, you know, of course, you put it on, you have to wait for it to flash, then you get your light out, and you make sure it's all nice and, you know, it started to oily up, and then you can buff it out, then you get your light, look for high spots, it's all good, and you go to the next. Because if that was a wax or whatever, you'd put it on, and some of them you wipe straight off. So the amount of time, and when you get a size of a car of that bloody RS4, with all its little nooks and crannies at the front, God knows what else everywhere, man, it's a three hour, you know, process to put coating on those things, and that's the outside, and then you got the inside. Whew. Anyway, I'll set up the old tripod, and we'll give these. We'll let the Newdec have a crack at these. So these B pillars, I think they're just very oxidised, so they've just got some. Yeah, I think the clear coat's still there, and we got some oxidation. So we'll just see. Now with B pillars, when I've ever watched the pros doing it, so if you watch Larry from Ammo, he puts the least aggressive polish and the least aggressive pads. Now, doing that, you are not going to remove scratches, right? Now, so if you do go up into pads, into more aggressive pads and more aggressive polish, you're going to get marring on these things. You will remove the some scratches, but all of a sudden, where you may have nice black clear coat and the black plastic, where you can see here, all of a sudden it looks like this, and it's like, whoa, and then you have to polish that to get it back to this black. So they're a funny thing, and you really have to get the right combination and not go too aggressive. Anyway, so that's a sort of look at them. These ones condition. I'm actually hoping we can do something about this. So what I'm going to do anyway is try with a Newdec. If that doesn't, do anything, I'll get out a Rotary and also my Zentil Mini and see what the difference is using those. Alright, give me a second to set a few things up and I'll be back with you. Okay, so here we are. and I've taped it all off. There's a more oxidised one. You can see, hopefully, I'll get different angles. Alright, so the Newdec polisher comes with a 3-inch pad. As I said, even though these 3-inch pads that comes with, they're light as, I just think this here needs a smaller pad. So in the instance of free spirit, and you don't have to be confined to, if you use a 3-inch backing plate, do I need to use a 3-inch or a 4-inch pad? I've got a 2-inch pad on there. Yes, it looks a little weird, but I've sent it the best I can, and personally I feel that it is going to be the perfect size for this. Now what I've found is this is a 12mm screw that comes out of there, so none of my 14mm extensions or other backing plates. So I will have to try and find a 12mm extension, because I actually feel this polisher will work heaps better with a small extension bar and a 2-inch backing plate, 2 or 1 inch. I think it'll be a much more better polisher. I will give it a go on some of the other areas, and I'll bring that 3-inch pad. So that's just one of them Chinese pads you get. It's a finishing pad, soft. So I'll go with the least aggressive first on one side, and then I've got a more aggressive cutting pad, Chinese mind you, here to put on it. So I'm just trying to make my mind up what polish I'll use. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I decided to have a variety. So this is a glaze, a finishing glaze. It would be the least diminishing. Then we would go to Menzerner 4000. Then we have HD Speed. And probably the most aggressive out of the lot will be the S20. Alright, so I'm going to try them with the finishing pad. So I'll try the Wolfgang finishing glaze with the finishing pad, and see if there's any result whatsoever with that. And if you're looking for any detailing tape, I used to buy the Scotch blue tape from the local hardware store. I think it's about $8 a roll. I think you can get 2 rolls for around 10. But Wax sell them probably half that price, these red rolls. So that's where I buy mine now. Alright, so I'll just set up this tripod, and we'll give it a go with the Wolfgang finishing glaze. Alright. So, around a wee bit. So if this was a very expensive, exotic car, I would probably tape this up here, but this is this 20-year-old car. The other thing you can also do is just open this door, and then you can get right to the edge. So I'm just going to start on speed 1 inch. Oh, that's speed 1. To work it in. And then slowly start him up a bit more. And I can already feel the difference, the rotational speed with this smaller pad. It just seems to be working a lot better than the bigger pad I had on there. So we'll go to speed 4. And I'll just show you like how much pressure you can put on these, and you'll probably hear how it slows down. So I'll get it up to 4, and I'm not putting any pressure on, but then when I do, you can see that it slows down pretty quickly. Alright, so grab a microfiber cloth. So the cleanish microfiber cloth, a little bit of a wipe down. And it's come up pretty well. It's come up pretty well. Let's see if I can get this camera in there a little bit closer, so you can see the difference between this here, this ghosted out, you know, oxidised, versus here. So yeah, it's done pretty well. Once again, I'm not looking to correct any scratches that may be in there, but I'll just grab my light and we'll have a better look at this. So using the Sun Match 2 on the highest setting, so you can see there, you know, there's not much blooming going on with the light, and the difference there. So hopefully that's getting the light in there. It's a bit hard for me to see with the but that's not too bad. I'm just going to do this with my other camera. Just hang on for a second. Alright, so I just got the Sun Match 2, put him on there, and we'll see the light. It's pretty good, and then we go across, and that's what it was. And there we have here. So, you know, this is not a bad little tool actually. Look, it's done that pretty well. The good thing about this, it weighs about 500 grams. It's light as anything. So I'll just continue on. Or I could have probably used something a little bit more aggressive, but that's not looking too bad. You can see some swirls in there, in amongst the stuff. But as I said, I wasn't here to get rid of the swirls. I was just here to you know, give it a good try and just make it a little bit better looking, and then we'll put some protection on that, try and keep it that way. But yeah, I can definitely see some vertical scratches. Where are they? Just there. So you might be able to see them just there. They are going up and down there. Other than that, they're not too bad. You know, generally these things are done with a dual action, but the Rotary's done pretty well with it. Alright, I'll try the other one and see how we'll go with this. What I might do is try a more aggressive polish and a more aggressive pad. So we might go up to, let's see, so that was the Wolfgang finishing glaze. Why don't we go for the, let's go for the S20. We'll see what happens there, same speed. Alright. Alright, so one on the right got a, was done with Skulls S20 with the cutting pad. So that's the small cutting pad, the orange cutting pad. And the one on the left was done with the finishing pad and Wolfgang finishing glaze. Alright, so there they both are. I'll try and get some light on the subject. So that's the S20. You can see there. And that one is the finishing pad with the so they're pretty similar really. I think they're both, not sure if they both could use a bit more, or there's actually some sort of marring going on. There's still a bit of a I don't know, a greyish tinge to this I can see inside the paint. And I've given it an IPA wipe down, so this one here, let's just turn this light down a bit. Yeah, that might be better. Yeah, it's pretty good, like it's pretty solid, that light. There's a little bit of blooming, but not too much. And this one's also pretty good. So, anyway, from my, from what I can see, if we look down here, compared to what they were, this sort of, what they did look like, both of them, and then we come up to yonder. So I think they've improved them a hell of a lot. So, for 120 bucks, this Newdec, it is, I think it's worth getting. I know some people have bought some other mini polishers. You got your hybrid, they're 900. Of course, I'd have to get extension bars for this to make this really worthwhile, so I'm going to have to find some 12mm extension bars. But other than that, I think it's a good little thing. You just don't ask too much of it, would be the big thing. And where it would come in good is door sills and stuff. And as I said, it's rechargeable, so there's no cords or anything like that. It's not very big, and I doubt if you may. I might do a video one day where I actually try and restore a headlight with it. Fogged out headlight, where I actually use some wet sandpaper and that, see if with the batteries it brings, it can actually do the whole thing. But for all intents and purposes, it's done a reasonable job there. And so I might just do that whole thing. I'll go through, do it all. I'm not sure which one really. I don't think there's a big difference, to be honest, with whether I do it with the Skulls S20 or I do it with the finishing Glaze, the Wolfgang. Maybe the Skulls S20 is a little bit better, but I'll probably do it with the Skulls S20 because I've got this on here now rather than swap it all over, and then I'll give you a good look at what it all looks like. Alright, just hang on for a sec. Okay, alright, so you can see I polished the one on the left and the one on the right isn't polished, so we'll just slowly go in and you can work out for yourself what you think. Alright, so that one on the left, ghosted, oxidised, the whole lot, and you can see the reflection there. And then as we get over here, the reflection has improved. Probably could go the Wolfgang Glaze now and actually get a bit more better reflection. And if we look at the top, that's the Skulls and that's the Wolfgang. So there's not a great deal of difference there, but you can see at least it's got rid of all this oxidation off here. I've given it a IPA wipe down with yonder IPA. You can see again, IPA wipe down. I think if you really worked on it a bit more, you'd probably get you get a bit more gloss out of this. And you can see the state of just how oxidised this is. So yeah, and you can also see here, there's a bit of colour come out of onto the pad. So the Skulls is a grey colour. So if you look at the different colour there, grey. It looks a little bit darker, so we may be removing some stuff here. So it's always something to be very aware of when you're polishing this sort of stuff, that you are removing paint, black paint in that case. And when you would polish something like this, they can be polished, but don't forget you are removing paint, and it's hard to tell because this is plastic just how much paint is on there. Okay, so yes, what do I think of this? I might do a couple of little other reviews of it. So it's the Newdec Pro model NP5001. It's cordless polisher. It threatens that it goes from 0 to 3,000 revs per minute. I reckon that's a big call, Newdec. But anyway, I recharged all the batteries. You know, it's actually having a bit of a go. The thing is, you can't press down too hard with these. They start, the torque isn't there to keep them going. The very good thing about them is that while you're polishing, you have a button here. It's nice and easy to move through the speeds. So it's very good in the hand. The good thing is you come with another battery, so as soon as this one starts to go, you can pop the other battery in for recharge. But yeah, I think so. I'll just continue on and do this other side here, and see how it goes, see how it looks in the end. Alright, so I just thought I'd come to the other side of the car. These are very similar, these two B-pillars. You can see the oxidation in the pillar. And I will now go to the other, put you on pause and go to the other side so you can compare how the Newdec Mini cordless polisher went. Okay, so here we are on the other side of the car, and there it is. That's the so I just gave one pass after working the polish in on speed 1. I went up to speed 4, and I did do a comparison, you remember, just up the top here, across here upwards. This was Wolfgang finishing glaze. There she is, the Concours series, and this size was Skulls S20. And then I decided to polish all the rest of them with Skulls S20. So I'll take a picture of both of them and put it in with this video. The only other thing I'd probably like to do is just actually go over this whole thing with the finishing glaze and see if we can just get any more gloss and just get a finished, refined look to it. Let's have a look in the see now. We could have some holograms in here because it is a rotary and I'm running it at high speed, so it wouldn't surprise me. So to be honest with you, probably finish this off with a dual action. But we'll see what happens when I refine it and see if we can get rid of some of that hologrammy. Alright. Okay, so what I've done is I've refined this other side, this side here, with the Wolfgang glaze. So the whole B pillar is done with the glaze, and then this other side I have kept it just with S20, and I think you can see the Wolfgang side is just a wee bit more on the better clarity. This one's just a little bit not as sharp. Okay, so you know, for all intents and purposes they've come out pretty well. If I slowly, you know, if you look from here and check them out, you know, I spent about 5 minutes just quickly doing it. It's more just a review of some of the Newdec Pro polisher. And if we come around here, we can just see what they did look like on this other side, the amount of oxidation in them. So, you know, would they have come up better on a dual action polisher? I think probably. You know, going at these sort of things with rotaries is always a little bit, you know, it's probably not the best way to do it. You're always going to get some marring and hologramming, especially running something at speed 4, which I did. But you know, there I am. There's a bit of a standing from back here, I think the customer would think, wow, that looks great compared to what it used to. So, but I personally, to go to a professional level, I personally think these need more polishing with a dual action polish. You could probably do with a rotary, slow speed. They just need a bit more, probably another couple of minutes of cutting and another couple of minutes of refining, and I think they'd come up. You could almost get them perfect, I guess. But for this demonstration, the Newdec Pro Polisher, I think it's a worthwhile for 120 bucks. I think it's pretty good. And if I can get extension bars and different size heads for this, I'm probably looking good for doing some sort of polishing inside the door handles. Like I've got the 3 inch on, but if I can get a 2 inch and a 1 inch on an extension bar, I think I'm going to be able to almost get inside here and do some polishing, and of course work around here. And don't forget, this is the sort of stuff as a mobile detailer you can do on the street, because you'll have all your gear there. You're not going to need electricity. You're just going to walk past and go, oh look, wow, they're really ghosted, mate. Would you like me to restore them? And I said, oh, what can you do? And you say, well, this is what I can do. I keep photos of this stuff. I say, I can bring them back to black. And how much does it cost? Something like this to get to this extent with the taping, 30, 40 bucks maybe for both sides. And that's it. You're just out in the street walking past going, oh, look, mate, do you want me to fix that? And if then they can handle sort of not really badly ghosted out headlights that need wet sanding and stuff, and probably need a decent DA or a decent or a drill or something to really work on them, you're probably not going to do that. But just give them a bit of a polish, just a bit of a quick polish. You can do this. You don't have to be at someone's home or anything. You can do them while they're shopping. There's no problem at all. You can polish these while they're shopping. You can probably, no, I won't say the glass. The glass is too big. It'll be there forever. But the sills inside there, there's things you can use. And this you could be polish here because you've got inside there. Wheels, you do the wheels with it. That's it. If I can get a 12-inch extension bar for here, and 1 and 2 inch pads with a 12-inch attachments. I've got all the backing plates. I've got all the pads, so this will become quite a useful tool. All right, so let me know what you think, and I'll catch you later.